Welcome to the TokyoBill Weekly Update, an end-of-week news brief on events in and around Japan. Today is March 1st, 2025. Warren Buffett, well-known investor, expressed in his annual letter to shareholders that he plans to increase his company's holdings in Japan's 5 largest trading houses. Berkshire Hathaway began buying stocks in Itochu, Marubeni, Mitsubishi, Mitsui, and Sumitomo in 2019, agreeing to keep stakes under 10% initially. However, the companies have now agreed to allow Berkshire to increase its ownership. Buffett expects to hold this investment for many decades and to find new ways to cooperate with these companies. He also expressed his concerns about U.S. government finances, warning that paper money could lose value due to poor fiscal practices and urging for vigilance in currency management. The Transport Ministry will set a quota for women in the entrance exam at Civil Aviation College for the 2027 academic year. Currently, female pilots make up only 2% in Japan, and the goal is to increase this to 10% by 2035. The exam will focus on personality evaluation through document screening in interviews, offering 30 slots with 20 for women. Women will represent nearly 20% of the total recruitment. Additionally, the height requirement of 158 centimeters will be removed for applicants starting in 2026. Only 6 female students entered for the 2024 year, or 5.6%, highlighting the need for change. People in Tokyo gathered on Monday to mark 3 years since Russia invaded Ukraine, urging for an end to the conflict. The event took place in front of Shibuya Station, with Ukrainians and supporters participating. Demonstrators displayed placards and the Ukrainian flag with messages like, "Don't forget Ukraine." One Ukrainian man, present at last year's anniversary, called for people the world over to support the end of the conflict. Another protester, Irina Derachova, shared her experience of escaping to Japan with her mother almost 3 years ago. She highlighted the challenges evacuees face, especially in finding work, and urged the international community to help achieve a ceasefire soon. A large protest took place in front of the Finance Ministry in Tokyo on Monday, demanding the end of the consumption tax and restructuring of the ministry. A government proposal in November had suggested increasing the taxable earnings threshold, which would lower tax revenues by 7 trillion yen, and was met with tremendous criticism by the public. Protesters expressed frustration over the media's lack of coverage, feeling that important issues were being ignored. Democratic Party of the People Secretary General Kazuya Shimba acknowledged the public's frustration. Discussions between ruling and opposition parties about tax policies are set to continue. 6 letters from writer Yukio Mishima to former Tokyo Governor Shintaro Ishihara have been found. Ishihara had mentioned the letters in a book, but they were not discovered until now when his family examined his belongings. In a letter wishing Ishihara a speedy recovery from an illness, Mishima expressed concern about Japan's future and encouraged Ishihara to reflect on Japanese society. This particular letter was sent 3 years before Mishima's infamous death in 1970. Ishihara later cited this letter as a key motivation for his political aspirations. The two writers shared a strong bond but had differing views, especially on politics and imperial rule. Ishihara served in the House of Representatives and as governor of Tokyo and died in 2022. The letters are to be published in a completed edition of Ishihara's book by the end of February. The Japanese government launched a new website about the Aum Shinryaku cult, which was responsible for the deadly Tokyo subway sarin gas attack in 1995. The site includes testimonies from victims' families, cult photos, and police radio recordings from the event. Justice Minister Keisuke Suzuki stressed that the cult continues to be a concern, continuing to recruit through successor groups. The founder, Shoko Asahara, was executed in 2018 for multiple murders. Among the accounts shared is that of Shizue Takahashi, who lost her husband in the attack. The website features around 100 photos capturing the attack's aftermath and scenes from the cult. Children born through sperm donation in Japan are asking for better protections to know their origins as new legislation is being discussed. The Special Assisted Reproductive Medicine Bill allows access to only non-identifying information like height and blood type, unless donors agree to share personal details. On February 25th, these individuals held a press conference to urge lawmakers to rethink their right to know their origins. Hidemasa Kato, a member of an advocacy group, stated they feel children's voices have not been heard. They also want the age limit removed, believing children should have no restrictions on learning about their parental origins. Police have uncovered an alleged prostitution ring in Tokyo's Kabukicho district that may have earned 1 billion yen, or $7 million, since 2021. Kazuki Sudo, 54, was arrested for violating Japan's anti-prostitution law by employing women to provide sexual services at a men's health salon. He is suspected of recruiting women, soliciting customers at a park, and hiring them at his business. Earlier, Sudo was one of 7 men arrested for hiring women as prostitutes at another establishment targeting foreign tourists. Additionally, police arrested Soe Shinjo, a 42-year-old company executive, for allegedly lending Sudo about 9 million yen for operations. Shinjo denied the accusations, claiming he was unaware of his prostitution business. All Nippon Airways plans to buy 77 new aircraft over 5 years to support growth in its international business. The airline will purchase 30 planes from Boeing, 27 from Airbus, and 20 from Embraer. This order, worth nearly $15 billion, is the largest single order ever for the company. Boeing's aircraft will mainly serve long-distance international routes to meet rising air travel demand due to increased tourism. The Embraer planes will be used mainly on domestic routes, replacing Mitsubishi's SpaceJet, withdrawn due to profitability issues. The new aircraft are more fuel efficient, aiming to lower carbon dioxide emissions. Rival Japan Airlines has also announced plans to purchase 42 new aircraft to grow its international operations. Sanrio, known for Hello Kitty, will open a new museum in Kai City, Yamanashi Prefecture. The museum will be on about 11,000 square meters of city land, with plans to launch next fiscal year. Sanrio proposed a plan featuring digital technology to display their popular characters and the company's history. The lease for the land is for 20 years, and city officials are optimistic it will help the local economy. Incidentally, the company's founder, Shintaro Tsuji, is from the area. Sanrio also noted the site's convenient location near the Chuo Expressway and expressed their hope the museum will become a new city landmark. Japan's birth rate has hit a record low, with births decreasing by 5% last year to 721,000. This marks the 9th consecutive year of decline, influenced by the COVID-19 pandemic, which limited in-person interactions and delayed marriages. In 2023, almost 500,000 couples married, a slight increase but still the second lowest post-war figure. Many young people prioritize job stability for marriage, affecting their views on having children. Japan's population is projected to halve by the century's end, leaving a smaller workforce to support the elderly, and increasing the workforce is seen as essential. The government aims to boost birth rates through economic support measures, but is still working through a comprehensive analysis of the situation. In related news, due to the population crisis, Tokyo will introduce a 4-day work week starting in April to help employees, especially parents, balance work and childcare. Tokyo's government will also implement a childcare partial leave policy, allowing some workers to reduce their daily hours by 2. The birth rate in Japan hit a record low in 2024 with a total fertility rate of just 1.2, far below the 2.1 needed for a stable population. Despite past efforts to encourage childbearing, the birth rate continues to decline, with working women facing heavy burdens of housework and childcare responsibilities. The Abbott World Marathon Majors Series starts on March 2nd with the Tokyo Marathon. This is the first of 7 races in the series, featuring 38,000 runners. The course is considered fast and flat, with defending champions Benson Kipruto and Tsutame Asefa Kebede both returning. The race is also a qualifier for the World Athletics Championships in Tokyo. The men's elite field includes Kipruto, who holds the course record, and notable contenders like Joshua Cheptegei and Berhanu Legese. In the women's race, Kebede faces strong competition from Brigid Kosgei, Rosemary Wanjiru, and others. The race will be broadcasted in Japan on Nippon Television, with other coverage details to be announced on the day. And finally, a Chinese GJ-2 drone was spotted near Japan for the first time on Wednesday, highlighting China's growing military presence in the Indo-Pacific region. The Japan Joint Staff detected the unmanned aerial vehicle as it flew over waters near Okinawa and into the Pacific Ocean. Another Chinese drone, the BZK-005, followed a similar route that day. While these drones did not enter Japanese airspace, Japan scrambled fighter jets for monitoring. Japan's defense ministry emphasized its commitment to airspace surveillance, especially during the ongoing US-Japan military exercise Iron Fist, until March 7th. The GJ-2 drone, known for reconnaissance and ground attack, has garnered interest from various countries, with a much lower cost compared to American drones. That brings us to the end of news items for the last week of February. These stories and more you can read at theTokyoBill.com. I've been, and remain, Tokyo Bill. Thank you for listening, and take care.